All right, one of the most confusing topics for us English speakers in Spanish is the concept of reflexive verbs. We don't really have that in English, so I'm going to teach you something today to make reflexive verbs a lot easier. So the issue that we English speakers have is that sometimes you're like, okay, it makes sense why that verb uses a reflexive pronoun. For example, tú te bañas, you bathe yourself. Te bañas, you bathe yourself. The subject and the object are the same. What about te levantas? Why is there a reflexive pronoun? So if you feel me on that, this video will cure all your issues related to that. Now real quick, if you don't know me and you're wondering why you should even listen to me, I taught myself Spanish in the sense that I didn't have a teacher teach me the concepts. I just sought them all out on my own using the internet. And throughout the years, I've picked up on certain insights that are really helpful to the English speaking brain. So what I'm doing on this channel is sharing those insights and helping you get to the same point I'm at now. So today's trick is learning how reflexive verbs oftentimes translate to get. Not to obtain, not to get, like to obtain, but to get something, like to get angry, to get up, etc. All right, so let's get into some examples now. So you may already know the verb perder, which means to lose. So that's not a reflexive verb. It's not perderse, I'm talking about perder. So for example, I lose the game is pierdo el juego or el partido. But what about if you get lost? So again, it's the word get. That's the key word of this video. So if you get lost, that's perderse. Me pierdo. I get lost. So for example, if you want to say, I always get lost when I travel, you could say siempre, always, siempre me pierdo cuando viajo. Okay, so I'll give you more examples to drill in how a lot of reflexive verbs, in English, they translate to get whatever. So how about the verb levantarse, to get up? I get up is me levanto. So you can remember that by thinking levantar. It kind of sounds like elevate or levitate. Both of those mean to go up. So I get up is me levanto. You get up is te levantas. She gets up is ella se levanta. If you wanted to say she gets up early, ella se levanta temprano. Notice the reflexive pronoun, me, te, se, always goes with the subject. That's why it's a reflexive verb. I get up, yo me levanto. You get up, tú te levantas. But oftentimes, as you already know in Spanish, you can drop the subject because the verb conjugation gives it away. The next example is enojarse. So that means to get angry. The way you can remember that is eno. What does it sound like? Enoch, annoy. So annoy, it more so means to get angry than it means to get annoyed. Molestarse is to get annoyed, but they're kind of similar. So enojarse is to get mad or to get angry. So I get angry is me enojo. You get angry is te enojas. Now, if you wanted to say she gets angry at me, it would be ella se enoja conmigo. Not a mí, not she gets mad at me, literally like a mí. It's not a literal translation in this case, as tends to be the case in Spanish, especially with prepositions. They don't often directly translate. So you actually say she gets mad with me, which actually works in English too. Ella se enoja conmigo. But even if you want to say she gets mad at me, it would be conmigo still. I get mad at you. Me enojo contigo. Or what about I get mad at him? Me enojo con él. Right? Because there's conmigo, there's contigo, but then with him or with her is just con él or con ella. All right, the next example of a reflexive verb that translates to get blank is to get married, which is casarse. So me caso, I get married. Te casas, you get married. I get married with you, me caso contigo. So let's cover a few more examples so you can drill it into your head. So the next verb is to get sick, enfermarse. So I get sick, what do you think it is? It's me enfermo. You get sick, te enfermas. We get sick, nos enfermamos. They get sick, se enferman. You guys or you all get sick, se enferman. It's the same ellos and ustedes, same conjugation. And it's the same reflexive pronoun as well. So one more time, me enfermo is I get sick. Actually, screw that. I don't want to manifest me getting sick because I hate colds. So instead we'll say, tú te enfermas. Yo no, pero tú sí. I'm kidding. The only reason I brought that up is because I wanted to give you an example of how to emphasize using reflexive verbs. So if you just say te enfermas, it means you get sick. But if you really want to emphasize you get sick, then you throw the subject in there as well. Say tú te enfermas. Another example of a to get reflexive verb is acercarse. So acercarse comes from the word cerca, which means close. So you might guess that acercarse means to get close. So acercarse a is to get close to. So me acerco, I get close. Me acerco a ti, I get close to you. Te acercas a mí, you get close to me. And then the opposite of getting close to someone would be getting further away from them. So again, this verb comes from the word lejos, which means far. So alejarse de, not alejarse a. You're not getting further to, you're getting further from. So me alejo, I get further. Me alejo de ti, I get further from you. AKA, I move away from you. Te alejas de ellos, you get further away from them, or you move away from them. Anyways, I can keep spamming you with examples, but I think at this point you get the point. There's a bunch more verbs like this, like aburrirse, cansarse, quemarse, etc. So try to spot this the next time you hear reflexive verbs being used in Spanish. Anyways, that's all for this video, so I'll see you in the next one. Peace.